So let's go back to bird's eye view. We notice in the actions palette there are two actions associated with rotation, rotate by and rotate to. Rotate by would be relative, rotate to is an absolute reference. We're going to use that. I'm going to rotate first. I'll do that by putting the action first. If I'm pressing the up arrow key to north, which we're going to define as 0. So that first parameter is the definition for north. The second two parameters deal with rotation in planes perpendicular to the floor in this case. So we're going to make both of those be 0 because we only want to rotate in the plane of the arena. We'll copy this down to each of the other rules and change it to the appropriate angle to rotate for each key. Remember that to the left is counterclockwise, and that's a 90-degree rotation from north to west. So the direction for west is 90 degrees, and the direction for south is 180 degrees. And finally, the direction for west, or rather east, is 270 degrees. If you're mathematically inclined, you can think of going both ways, but with a negative number. If you're going to the right, you would be going minus 90 or plus 270. They're mathematically the same. Let's try running the simulation first in bird's eye view mode. So I'll click play, and I move up. We see that the mover moves up. If I press the left arrow, I both rotate and move to the left. If I press the left arrow a second time, I don't rotate, or I don't see the rotation because I'm already pointed to the west or left. If I press the right arrow, I both rotate and move, and subsequent presses of the right arrow move but not rotate. Similarly, moving down, I rotate first and then move, and then subsequently move only without rotating because I'm already pointing in that direction. Let's go ahead and reset and try it in first person. So I choose the agent, click first person, and now when I press the up arrow, I move up. If I press the left arrow, I turn and move. It may not be obvious that I moved because it's hard to see movement when you're in first person unless you move consecutively. Now the natural thing to do if I wanted to continue to move west would be to press the up arrow. The meanings of the keys seem to change when you're in first person mode. They don't physically change, you just like them to change. So I'd like to use the up arrow as the forward motion. The other three would be turning motions. So if I press the up arrow, I don't move forward because the action defined for the up arrow key is to rotate to 0 and move upward, not forward. In other words, the move command refers to motion on the world, motion on the plane, not the motion relative to which direction the agent is facing. Similarly, if I'd like to move south, I can press the down arrow, and now I've rotated and actually moved one cell south. If I really want to move south, I can't press the up arrow. That returns me to north. If I want to move south, I have to press the down arrow and continue to press the down arrow because that's the direction, as I observe in the rules, that I will move if I press the down arrow, not the up arrow. And the same is true for moving to the right. The first movement seems to do the right thing, but the next time I press an up arrow, I go back to north. If I want to keep going to the right, I have to press the right arrow repeatedly. If I want to keep going to the left, I have to press the left arrow repeatedly. Similarly for going south. So what we need to do is figure out a way so that the up arrow will mean forward when I'm in first person, but up on the game board when I'm in world or bird's eye view. Again, if I press the up arrow, it only goes up. When I press the left arrow, I go to the left. If I press the up arrow again, I go up. So we need to change what these keys mean if I'm in first person.